It's not just another game, it means more. The anxiety, the anxiousness, everywhere you look for this week, it's all about beating Army. We want to leave nothing up to chance.
Army vs. Navy, the biggest rivalry in college sports. A game that represents serving our country from two service academies, with the ultimate respect off the field and an eagerness to dominate on. Army vs. Navy is the pinnacle of sports in this country, and I got unprecedented access with Navy men's lacrosse for 72 hours leading up to the biggest game of their season. I'm going to give you guys an inside look on how the nation's best prepare for one of the biggest games of the year.
Forcing the slide, Haley goes low. Gets that separation, unleashes, it finds the cage, and we're going to overtime. Iker.
On the way!
2 days out, how did you approach this week of practice?
You try and keep it status quo and don't change routine, but there's a heightened sense of urgency with everything that seemingly you do. You know, there's more attention and there's more focus, there's more intensity. Match up! Match up! Match up!
What does Navy versus Army mean to you?
As soon as you get here, it's everything you see, it's everything you talk about. You go to countless games, supporting the football team, basketball team, other teams in the yard. And
as a school, I'd say it's the one event that brings the entire school together, where you collectively, no matter what team you're on, feel like, you know, you're invested in that game.
This game means so much, not only for the rivalry, but for the midshipmen. Let's break it down. Army right now is sitting at number 5 in the country with a rank of 9-1. They probably should be undefeated, losing to Boston University team. Navy, on the other hand, losing to Hopkins, Penn State, Lehigh, and Colgate. A 7-4 Navy going against 9-1, ranked number 5 Army. No one's betting on Navy. Everybody thinks Army's gonna win, and this was very similar to the way things panned out in 2022.
We were up at Army. Senior captain that year, Jack Sweeney, he didn't see the field the entire game until we went into overtime, and we went man up.
Senior Jack Sweeney, I got chose to start over him.
I can remember vividly as he's walking out to the field and Brad Ross is giving him the instructions for, this is the man up play, we're gonna run.
They pulled Jack Sweeney. I got taken out for Jack.
He was on the crease, curled to like a high fade for a step down shot. And
I just looked at him, I said, you're gonna score. It was poetic justice. That's all you needed. The ball was in his stick for 2 seconds.
There's a video of me sprinting onto the field, jumping into his arms, which just goes to show, you know, there's never any hate. This is sports, this is athletics, you know, we love each other.
Senior captain stepping in and doing that role and capitalizing, like you draw that up in your backyard, you couldn't be any greater.
He played 28 seconds of a game and he goes down in Army-Navy history.
Canned it, and that was the one time he stepped on the field.
I remember that moment and being there on the sideline, seeing it and just going berserk.
Going up to West Point, New York, and beating a ranked Army team is special. Coach said it best, Jack's in the history books forever, but the unsung hero of that game goes by the name of Joey D.
When I first got here, I asked, who's the biggest problem on our team? And the name kept coming back to me, Joey D. And then I met Joey D late summer 2019, and I had this instant connection with him. We have a Joey D rule that is still in effect. That's in practice, do not kill your teammates.
I guess it wasn't in effect last time I was here. A little scrum.
No, we have a Joey D rule that is still in effect. That's in practice, do not kill your teammates. We inserted them in the lineup in the second midfield that game. He scores an early goal, and you can just sense the team started to fall and rally on his back. And then he goes and has 3. I mean, just remarkable story. He put the team on his back and just made plays to win us the game.
It's 4 o'clock on Thursday, about 2 days out from when these guys play Army. And you can tell the focus and attention to detail is at an all-time high. Every door, every dumbbell, every license plate, every picture inside the grounds here in Annapolis at Navy says, go Navy, beat Army. It's a way of life. Is Army versus Navy the best rivalry in college sports?
It's not even close. You know, for everything it stands for, you can end the conversation there. If you're not a person who appreciates what these human beings do for you, get out, you know? And here you are with 2 very quality teams in most of our sports competing against each other. You know, it just adds to it.
What would you say to a guy that's like, I think Ohio State and Michigan's a bigger rivalry?
I would say, you know, I want your problems. Like, give me a break. you know?
This one draws huge national attention, and it's not just for a football game. It's for lacrosse, baseball, basketball, all these different sports that each of our school has.
Everywhere you look for this week, it's all about Army. It's all about beating Army. And we want to leave nothing up to chance.
That regional rivalry you have is cute, but we're representing the nation. You don't get a chance to do that without the men that are playing on the field on Saturday. And that alone makes our rivalry the best in college sports.
Their ability to sacrifice themselves for something so much greater, still be talented enough to compete at this level. It's the best rivalry in the world for that reason.
For this senior class to go out on a losing record against Army is not an option. You can tell by the tone of their voice they want to win. As a guy that played at Ohio State at the highest level, our rival was against Michigan, the game, one of the biggest college rivalries in all of college athletics. But that on a scale against Army versus Navy, it doesn't even come close. Coach Amplos said it right. I want your problems. And it's true. These guys out here, an Army coming down south to play these guys in Annapolis, want to win. But more importantly, they're serving our country. This is more than just a game. This is a way of life. And this atmosphere and this rivalry we're about to experience together, it's something words can't even describe.
Check in. You guys haven't played that fucking hard in practice in forever. That was awesome, all right? It's been an awesome week so far. I know Tuesday was a little disappointing for everybody, but you came out yesterday. I mean, we were on it, right? Great walkthrough day, learned a lot. We're gonna finish up a little man up, man down right now. Let's go. Good job, fellas.
Here at Navy, we're lucky to be one of the few colleges in lacrosse to have their own Hall of Fame. Right here, we have Billy Looney, who's actually at practice yesterday, got the boys fired up with a good speech.
This board right here is every single matchup that we've had in lacrosse against Army. So all the stars are the wins. The total record is 63, 38, and 3, favoring us.
Over here, we have each ball represents a Navy win in the Army-Navy rivalry games, 63 up there. The Army-Navy specialty jerseys started with football roughly 20 years ago. The lacrosse started picking it up roughly 10 years ago. We get to honor some special units and those that have come before us.
It's cool, like anticipation, because you know you're kind of wearing something different because the game itself is different than any other game that we're going to play this season. So it's cool to kind of bring it all together. Here we have the skull and crossbones. So Jolly Rogers, which is the squadron that the whole uniform is based around. They were started in World War II. They're the deadliest squadron, and they would fly the skull and crossbones on all their aircraft. So their motto was fear the bones.
Another little detail is the stars here on the back of the helmet. Every star shows a win for Navy in the Army-Navy series for the lacrosse team.
These are the jerseys. They got released earlier this week. We have the chevrons here on the shoulder. There's 9 of them, and each one represents the different aircraft that the Jolly Roger Squadron have flown.
Every guy on the team chooses their own patch. This patch here, 1st Battalion, 2nd Marines, chose this patch, especially me because my dad and grandfather were in 1st Battalion, 2nd Marines.
Chose the SEAL Team 3 patch, West Coast-based SEAL team that my cousin Brendan was on, so basically just representing him through this patch right here.
Brendan Looney came to the Naval Academy as a football player. After his sophomore year, he talked to the coaches and tried out for the lacrosse team. He made the team along with his 2 brothers, Billy and Steven. After Navy, Brendan graduated, went to Buds to try to become a SEAL, and then was off to Iraq. Nearing Brendan's mission in Iraq, 10 days before he was supposed to head home, his friend Andrew Dow was going on a helicopter mission, and Brendan was wishing him luck and wound up going on that helicopter. On that day, September 21st, 2010, Brendan lost his life in one of the worst helicopter crashes in Afghanistan history. Brennan's legacy lives on today and is a pivotal part of Navy men's lacrosse. Each year, the program awards a selfless hero to wear 40.
Billy Looney, Navy lacrosse, graduated 2007. You know, they call it a brotherhood. I think every team probably calls it a brotherhood, but I actually played with my brothers, and they're the best teammates I've ever had. Brendan, especially not being a lacrosse player, but playing lacrosse here, knowing how he played lacrosse and how he lived his life, and the fact that, you know, Coach Champlo and the team does a lot of stuff to remember him. It just means the world to me and my family. And he deserves it too, because he's a bad dude.
You know, you were a starting quarterback and also a starting attackman on the lacrosse field during Army versus Navy. Talk to us about the two different sides of that spectrum.
The obvious, just the size difference. I heard there's going to be like 86,000 people in the stadium, packed stadium. That following spring, when we played Army over at West Point, everyone was getting super excited for like 2,000, 4,000, 5,000 people. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I didn't want to be me. Like, that's really still sick.
What's your favorite Army versus Navy game day tradition?
Both just singing second. It's really hard to describe something that you just really have to feel. And when you win that game, it brings a different me. I've never sung that song with so much pride until one of those Army-Navy games.
Favorite game day tradition? I got two. First would be the flyover. That always gives me chills. Really cool to see. And the second is honestly the national anthem. To my left is their officers that are part of the team. And in front of me where I sit at the stadium, I can see the other team. And I look straight up and I see the flag. There's no other feeling like it.
When you get on the bus, the seriousness, and it's dead quiet. Everyone's got their music in, getting ready to go, and then you get off the bus and you start hearing Army fans chirp you and Navy fans chirping the Army players, and then you run out behind your flag. It's the first flag flown over Afghanistan. There's no greater moment than being with your brothers at the highest stage possible.
All right, fellas, I'm going to let Ian introduce our guest speaker this morning.
Major Ball, he's got a pretty incredible story. Jack and I thought it was a great opportunity for him to come speak to us before Army.
Thank you so much for the invite. I got chills when I read that, and I'm feeling it right now. I can only imagine what this game means to you. It's a day that you guys are never going to forget. Remember this, the theory of attrition warfare, which is what the Army practices, means mass wins, numbers win. Their numbers are winning right now. But the theory of maneuver warfare that the Marine Corps figured out is how the underdog wins. Because that's what we've always been, the underdog. We've never had the best stuff, we've always had the toughest fight, and yet we always find a way. And then we drag the Army along with us. Damn honored to be here with y'all today. Good luck, all right?
Foot on the neck, don't let up.
Face-off X will be a huge story in this one. Zach Hayashi is back for Navy after missing 7 games. He's excellent.
Go Navy! Go Navy! We're about 25 minutes to the start of this game, and man, I've never experienced a game like this in college lacrosse. This rivalry is by far the most attended regular season game year after year in the sport of lacrosse at the Division I level. You saw the tailgate. You saw how many people are waiting out front. This is a special game, and you guys are about to witness it firsthand. Can Navy, the underdog, take down top 5 ranked Army? The biggest rivalry in college sports is happening now.
Wow! What's the white? Come on. White. There's one quote from a Marine, and he was asked, how did that happen? He said it was a brotherhood. Brothers in arms on that field of fucking battle. Just like today, brothers in arms on that field of battle, where it's about the fucking mission. You'll captivate and tap in to any part of that you need. Today, a hero will emerge. From one of you, a hero will emerge. I promise you that. And each and every one of you are capable of it. But at the end, it's gonna be about the brotherhood. It's been about you and us together. Everything's been said. The mission is fucking planned. You're as prepared as you've ever fucking been. Execute. Be Army. Yeah!
Underway. Army-Navy, the 105th time. Goers dishes. Point shot finds the back of the cage. Paul Garza. Jackson Eicher wheels around and deposits one through to give Army their first lead. Forcing the slide, Haley goes low. 19 seconds left. Navy is tied at 2. Angle shot pass, wow! And that's how Army finishes off the half.
With that goal from Army, seconds left in the second, it's tied up. Boys have one more half left to make history. As Coach said, Jack Sweeney went in for 16 seconds of an Army-Navy game, shot the ball, made a goal, and is in Army-Navy history forever. Who's gonna be that person today?
This is the point in your life, like legitimately your life, where you find out what you're fucking made of, okay? With this sport. You find out what you're made of. You cannot be fearful, right? You got to attack with a fearless mentality. Take it, embrace it, enjoy it. It's what you work for. And you're prepared, you just got to fucking go. You just got to let it fucking loose and go. Okay? You got it?
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. Let's make it happen. Let's go.
Here we go.
Let's go, boys.
Let's go, boys.
Bring it up.
Gotta win this game, boys. This is the open style for Army right on the doorstep. Aiden Eisenborn. And they take the lead. So that's how you climb back in it. Jack Ponzio finding the back of the cage.
We're fading, we're off, we're in.
Towards the crease. There's a Navy goal when they need it to pull within one.
Ball and a fresh 60.
Fournier screened off and a bouncer goes through. Jack Flaherty ties this game at ace. Gets that separation, unleashes, and finds the cage.
There's 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Army just scored. That puts the game at 11-10. Army takes a timeout. This is by far the best in-season college lacrosse game I've ever been to. Over 10,000 fans in the stands. This game's going back and forth. One of the most physical games I've been in person to attend. Can Navy pull off one of the biggest upsets in Army-Navy history?
What an opening for Evan Plunkett. He deposited high, and Army has tied it up at 11. And we're going to overtime.
I haven't been this invested in a college lacrosse game in my entire life. My heart is beating on the sideline. I'm so nervous. With all the Jack Sweeney talk throughout this whole video, the overtime winner in 22, we're going to repeat it here in 2025 here in Annapolis, Maryland. Let's see if Navy can come out victorious.
Hold that line, fellas. Hold that line.
Let's see what'll make the difference here in Annapolis. What a gift here.
Both teams are out of timeouts in overtime. Army has the ball. Can they clinch it? Let's find out.
With a minute 52. Next goal wins this one here in overtime. There's the attempt. Hiker. Crank bounces and wins it. In overtime, it's Army. The winner of America's Rivalry in 2025.
Green Army! Just so incredibly proud of the team that we played like tonight. I'm proud of everyone of the staff that we're included. Sometimes when you play great teams and you're in it like that, they just make more plays. And you got to tip your cap to them, okay? And I know it hurts. So not much that I'm going to say is going to make you feel any better. And it's good that it hurts because that means it matters. 9-on-1, 3, 2, 1.